Hi, I'm Georgette and welcome back to my kitchen. Today we're cooking curried goat. I've had a few requests from friends and family to make this dish and I'm going to walk you through the simple step to create your own curried goat at home. I hope you enjoy making it with me. Let's get into it. The board is set up with our ingredients for our curried goat. We've got the dried spice on this side and my fresh stuff on this side. In here I have 3 tablespoons of everyday seasoning, 2 teaspoons of allspice, pimento, love the stuff, it's ground. And I've got the curry powder mix in here, 2 tablespoons of Betapak curry and 2 teaspoons of my aunt's from Jamaica special curry mix. I've also got 2 teaspoons of salt and a teaspoon of ground black pepper. I've got fresh spring onion scallion here, some fresh thyme, 4 cloves of garlic, a nub of fresh ginger, scotch bonnet pepper and a large onion. Now the scotch bonnet pepper, I like to cut half of it and have that flesh cut up and put in with the meat as I season it, and then when I've cooked it and it's about 15 minutes off finishing off, I drop a whole scotch bonnet pepper in. Then that's because I want the flavors and not a lot of heat. But if you want the heat, you're welcome to throw some seeds in and that definitely will give you the heat. In the bowl we have some really nice goat meat on the bone, about 2 kilos, and all the chopped up fresh ingredients has been rubbed in with the dried spice. Another trick of mine to make sure you can reduce cooking time and you're not slaving over the stove, I soaked my goat meat in some brine salt water for about half an hour, and that deepens the flavor and also makes sure the meat cooks a little bit quicker. If you have more time, obviously you can season this and leave it in the fridge overnight for cooking the following day. It's the shoulder that I've used because you have some mix of fat and lean meats and you get really good flavors with that. It looks like it's really good to go. I'm excited about cooking this dish because I have not had curried goat for a long time. On the cooker I've had the pan on now for about 3 to 5 minutes with a 1/4 cup of sunflower oil heating up, ready to take my curry powder mix. And I do this way, I burn the curry powder in the oil rather than put it on the meat. If I'm doing a lot more meat, then I will put the curry powder on the meat as well as in the oil. I'm about to put in the curry powder mix and that sizzles, you know the oil is really hot. Get it all in the oil, and now I'm going to get all my meat in. I'm going to get my hand in there. And mix it all in until we've got it. And keeping it on the high heat as well, just to make sure that the goat is sort of sealing as we go, as we get all of that all coated in. We won't add any water to it as yet, we just get that all covered. And you can see the colour changing. And what will happen is the meat itself will start to produce some juices of its own, and that's what I like to happen before I add any water at all to the meat. So then turn the flame down to allow it to slow cook. So we've covered all of the meat in the curry powder. We're now going to put the lid on for about 5 minutes and we come back and check it before we get it ready to cook for an hour to an hour and a half. It's been 5 minutes now and it's done exactly what I wanted it to do. It's produced some juices of its own, you can see that. And we allow that to keep cooking in its juices until that juice starts to dry out before I add any cold water to it and then allow it to slow cook. So I'm going to put the lid back on for another 5 minutes, and then I think at that point it will be ready to have the cold water and then turn the heat down. So it's still on high heat, cooking in its own juices, and I'll come back at 5 minutes. You can see my Dutch pot, it's not the most attractive, but it's really useful for cooking a good curried goat. The juices are so beautiful. This is all what the goat has produced itself. I've not added any water at all to it as yet. When I checked it at 5 minutes, it wasn't quite right, and now this has been in for 10 minutes cooking in its own juices. What I am going to do now is add in a small amount of cold water. There. And I'm going to turn my heat and flame underneath all the way down, and you can forget about it but come back and check at intervals of 15 minutes. The whole thing may need cooking for about an hour and a half, but this is perfect. Amazing. I'm going to get the lid back on and turn the flame right all the way down and check at intervals of 15 minutes to add in additional cold water if necessary. Curried goat has now been on the hub for about an hour. It's reduced nicely and the meat is really quite softened. I'm going to test that and show you with the fork. There we are. And I think that I will just increase my flame just to about medium for the next half an hour or so. Curried goat has been on the hub now for about an hour and 15 minutes. You can start to see a sort of film of oil on top. That's all been produced by the goat meat itself, and that's why I use a very small amount of oil at the start, just 1/4 cup of sunflower oil, just so that we could get the curry going, to get the meats in. So you can spoon the excess oil off to when you get to the finishing touches. And now what we're going to put in, you'll remember I said a whole Scotch bonnet pepper is going to go in, and we've got 3 small potatoes peeled and chopped, and that's just to help to thicken up the gravy so we have nice thick deep flavors when we come to plate up. I'm going to stir that in. This is smelling so good and looking good. We're on the home straight now. I can't wait to eat this. So looking forward to it. It smells divine. Really delicious smelling. I'm going to get the lid back on and leave that now to simmer. Okay guys, the finished product, let's have a look. Oh, that looks so delicious. You've noticed that the potatoes have softened and it's given the gravy a great body and thickness to it, and it's just bubbling away, ready to plate up. Total cooking time was about 1 hour and 45 minutes, but that will vary. And I'm really looking forward to plating this up with some steamed rice, white rice as we like to call it as Jamaicans, and I'm going to enjoy a plate of that. Hi guys, the finished product has been plated up, my curried goat. You notice I've put a Scotch bonnet pepper there just for the extra heat. When I eat it, I like a little bit more chili, and this also gives you a pop of colour. The smell is delicious, and I want you to go out and have a try of it. I hope you enjoy making it and eating it as much as I'm looking forward to eating it, and I enjoyed making it. Now remember to like, comment and subscribe. See you soon.